Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation. For this study, we work with Dr. Umut Burcu Tasayursever and Dr. Sevin Kazazoğlu. They're also my supervisors. Let me introduce myself. I'm a graduate design student at Yıldız Technical University. I'm studying interactive media design. My major was English language and literature, so I had to study 1 year scientific preparatory program at the beginning of my master's degree. And as you can see on the screen, the topic is related to English for design education. And for this, we made use of an open source visual novel engine, Ren'py. So let's start. And here is the content of our presentation. First, we are starting with objectives and research rationale. And then we will move on design thinking process and ARSC model. And then we will talk about empathy and define stages. Then we will show you norms of design language, which is the name of our interactive program. Then we will mention about its content and story elements. Then I will introduce you the design tools and try to provide you with a brief demo. Then we will end our presentation with concluding remarks. And here are the objectives and research rationale. The first rationale is the relative lack of progress in research and development of professional English design materials. In this study, we would like to provide open source multimodal materials. And the second rationale is the need for localized and specialized English for design instructional materials, because the majority of seminal works on design principles and terminology have originated in English-speaking countries, especially in the Western design tradition. Designers worldwide often use English-specific terms and concepts, making it easier to understand and implement design principles universally. And most of the prominent researchers in the field of interaction and communication design primarily write and publish their work in English language. So in this study, we would like to improve the accessibility of primary and secondary design sources. And the third rationale is the importance of constructivist approaches in tertiary level education. Again, in this study, we want to provide a useful model for further tertiary level design education studies. And the fourth rationale is the motivating and engaging factors of multimodal materials in language education. And this study also forms as a basis for a further study. We aim to test and implement these materials among undergraduate communication design students. In this study, we combine design thinking process with ARSC model. It's an instructional design model which was offered by Keller. Here you can see the integrated steps and stages. The first 4 steps and empathy stages are highly related, and the 5th with define stage, while 6th, 7th, and 8th is related to ideate. So we found it very useful, and we believe that it provides us with a systematic approach to our design. So we made use of this model in data collection, selection of content and problematic areas, and while we are trying to focusing on the relevance and attention of our material content, also we made use of the motivational design steps. And for empathy and define stages, and also for the first 5 steps of motivational instructional design model, we try to collect data through literature review And also we analyzed available international and national materials. We studied the curriculum of visual communication and design departments and communication and design departments in Turkey, especially in state universities. We identified 15 visual communication and design departments which offer their degree programs in Turkish, and also we identified 5 communication and design departments which offer their degree programs in Turkish. So we analyzed their curriculum, we checked their ESP courses, especially design related ESP courses. We tried to analyze the content of these courses, and we checked the suggested materials, but unfortunately we couldn't identify any suggested materials except one, and it was grammar book. And for drawing empathy, we use observations. As I told you at the beginning of the presentation, I studied at scientific preparatory program at the beginning of my graduate education. So I had the chance of making direct observations while studying there, because I took 7 courses with undergraduate students. So I had the chance of analyzing their attitudes towards English, and I witnessed their experiences in terms of language. And we try to draw our empathy by using my observations as a student. Also, in the last semester, I gave English for Design course, so I had chance of making in-class observations. We also use this, and for the class, I conducted a learner profile survey and diagnostic level test. We also use this information in empathy and defined stages, and also in the first 5 steps of motivational design model. And based on these observations, we try to identify some key points that our students have difficulty with. And we try to identify the complexity of design language and the role of English education in design. So, as we all know, design is multidisciplinary, and it has tons of borrowed vocabulary. And subjectivity and creativity is another issue in the complexity of design language. And all for that, design has a specialized language, and it's full of contextual connotations, and it's a dynamic discipline, and there are newly integrated topics. So there is limited available materials in native language of the students, so they need English. And there is an inclination to incorporate both English and Turkish language in courses and projects. For example, you can see these languages together in a student's project, for example, a poster project. Or you can see class presentations or suggested books or English videos in one of these classes which are newly integrated into the curriculum. And also, students need to translate everything. They think like that because they are unaware of contextual connotations, and they need to see an equivalent of the terms. And for the analysis of the available ESP materials, We can say that there are two international design-related ESP books, but also they are very wide in scope. They cover a wide array of topics. And there are three regional, national design-related ESP books, but they are lack of multimodal approaches. They cover, as I told you, a wide array of topics. There are some irrelevant topics, and also you can find some out-of-date topics and issues in these books, especially in international and national ones. And for example, one of the international ESP books cover every unit in 2 pages, and it offers the same activity patterns over and over again. So in terms of national materials, we can say that we see the effect of the native language. We see the translated passages. We see some cultural connotations, regional connotations in these materials. And after all this analysis, we concluded that we need to design something which is relevant to today's technology, and also which needs to address to the taste of our students. Also, we identified that we need to use constructivist approaches and make use of multimodal strategies in material design. So with a rapid prototyping with using Comic and Ren'py, we see that the system works well. So we conducted a low fidelity prototype, and this time we use Pixton because it offers a quick solution to storyboarding and characterization, because in Ren'py the coding takes too long. And for high fidelity prototype, we try to make ready our interactive comic and comics to the implementation. And before high fidelity, we also analyze the language of the materials and content. And now let me introduce you the norms of design language. We have 2 characters, the ultimate design sensei and designer the obscure. The ultimate design sensei is a design professor who admires Donald Norman and copies his style. And designer the obscure is a graduate student who wants to make comics to help non-major English design students. In the comic version, designer the obscure narrates story through upper captions and talks through lower captions. And in the comic version, the ultimate design sensei talks through speech bubbles and thinks through thought bubbles. Also, in whispering bubbles, he directly interacts with the reader. In norms of design language, we have 3 chapters. We design it in 3 separate chapters. In the first chapter, we have universal design, usability, accessibility, flexibility, inclusive design, iterative design. And in the second chapter, we have affordances, signifiers, and we have some concepts like Norman doors, conceptual models, concept maps, discoverability, learnability. And in the third chapter, we are dealing with constraints and the types of constraints, mapping, the gulf of execution, and the gulf of evaluation. And now I would like to talk about the format of norms of design language. Interactive comics is distributable in exe file format. It has 3 chapters. It's compatible with commonly used operating systems. it has some features like self-voicing. It also offers a flexible reading experience to the readers. In comic version, we have 3 chapters again. It's just organized in chapters right now. It hasn't compiled in a book format yet. And it is in 12 panel grid with 4 tiers of panels. I mean 3 and 4. And the program is responsive for different screen sizes and devices. Before moving on to the demo of the program, I would like to share some information. If you want to learn more about the norms of design language, and if you want to use it in your own classes, the prototypes of beta launches and sample chapters are available upon request, so you can visit the website. And now let's see how the interactive comic works. Yes, let's have a look at the interactive comic. You can view the application's main page. You can see the menu here, help menu. You can learn about keyboard shortcut keys, and you can also learn more about the features of the program, like self-voicing, how to take a screenshot, etc. Also, you can view mouse functions here. Here is about section. It's about our interactive comic. And you can change the preferences here. Let me do it like that. And in load you can view your reading history. Let's start with. Okay, hi there. We are asking any input from the reader here because we will use their names several times in the reading process. They say GGG. Nice to meet you, GGG. Okay. By the way, my battery is getting low, so it's getting dark. Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 1, whatever. Let's see, Chapter 2. We try to make use of the power of storytelling several times by using figurative language, by using the humor, by using sometimes, slapstick comedy, by using picaresque elements. Yes, it's like that. I hope you like it. I tried to cut it short in order not to take your time. And if you want to use this interactive comic in your courses, or if you want to learn more about it, if you want to experience it, just visit our website, please, or you can also leave us a comment on panel discussion. And the study also has some limitations. The content of the materials is limited to terminology and concepts related to universal design, accessibility and usability, and elements and principles of interaction design. And our study was supported by the Research Fund of Yıldız Technical University. It's also a note for the audience. Here you can see our reference list. And here you can see the links of the available ESP books. And also we are sharing the links of the design tools that we use in our study. And thank you very much for your attention, and please feel free to leave any comment and ask any questions in the conference's panel discussion. We will be happy to answer your questions, and we are looking forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.